So I guess most of it is outgoing, right? So there are essentially a few different major outlets. Okay? So data comes in from somebody crosses a finish line, it gets recorded, and then it goes to the first place it really goes to is the television commentators. Okay, this is primarily NBC. NBC pays for most of the Olympic Games. So the first thing to do is to get that information to them on the commentator's desk as fast as possible, right? Almost real time. Okay, so it's almost the moment the guy crosses the finish line, they know if it was a world record, what the old world record was, how long it took him to cross the finish line, how his competitors are doing, all that stuff happens almost instantaneously. The public, that information eventually gets put onto screen or comes out of the commentator's mouth or whatever, but the actual direct link never goes to public. The second one is what's essentially the Olympic intranet, what they call Info 2008, which is basically a bunch of web terminals all over the Olympic areas that are used by staff, coaches, and athletes to just see what's going on. So that's sort of an internal internet site, right? It's their intranet. Then things go out to print media and other press agencies, right? CNN, Reuters, Bloomberg, London Times, etc., whoever happens to pay for it. And that stuff is relatively restricted, actually, mostly because of money. If you want to direct sort of, these are essentially real-time feeds, right? It's less than 1 second between the guy crossing the finish line and a message going out to Reuters about what his finishing time was. Okay. And if you want something that fast, you have to pay money. Okay. Right? That's how the Olympics makes money. The other feed is essentially their internet outgoing feed. Right? And typically what happens is there's one company who's in charge of the official website for the Olympics, and they send them whatever information they happen to want.
Mm-hmm. So you're talking about feeds, right? So is it something like they actually post information in the intranet, and then after that, every time there's an update, they actually, the people who pay for it actually receive updates through feeds? Is that what you're saying?
Right, so it's, I'm trying to think, I mean, it's almost as if you had an email news group that was just sending you messages, 5 times a second, constantly saying, here are all the events that have occurred, right? From as high level as somebody won the gold medal in swimming, to potentially like particularly the commentators for television get things down to the level of rebounds in basketball and passes in volleyball and all of that stuff. So some of it can be fairly high volume.